Guys, and welcome back to our channel Sharang and Sharvari. So it's been a long time since we last posted a video, and today's video is very special because I don't want women out there who are pregnant or who are thinking of having a baby in the future to be scared about labor and delivery and all of those things. So I decided to make this short video to kind of reduce your fear about the same and to give you that confidence, to instill that confidence in you that yes, as a woman you can definitely have a successful birth. It does not have to be it does not have to be hard or something like that. And that is why this video, to clear the air on how my personal labor and delivery experience was, so that I can help women out there better, and also tell you what to expect, what are the advantages, the disadvantages of things, and how you can better prepare to be a mother. Firstly, I am very sorry for the background noise. I am making this video on a random Tuesday when our son is sleeping because I do not get time otherwise. Life is so busy that I have to always, find time in between to make these videos. That is why me and Sharang have fallen back a bit on this channel because he's busy with work, I'm busy with the baby, and it is very hard to manage both the things at the same time. But today I got that time to sit down and actually have one of these videos. So here we go. Firstly, I want to start this video off with a disclaimer that this is solely my experience, and you can have a different experience. You can go through something else. It may not be the same as me, so do not take this experience as the ultimate truth because every woman has a different experience. Some have it very painful, some have it very painless for some reason. And I wanted to educate or tell women that you do not need to make a birth plan. Things can go like really different at the very last minute. You can have a certain plan in your head that this is what type of birth I'll go for, but in the end, it can go completely different. I had a friend who recently delivered, and she actually had planned for a C section, but then they ended up doing a normal delivery. So that is why I thought that I will, clear the air on how my labor and delivery experience went and how you can best prepare for yours. Without wasting any time, as we usually do, I will get to the point quickly. So, I will not be revealing any too intimate or personal details about the birth because I want that part to remain family only and not put that out on the internet because our son is pretty small and I don't want him to be exposed to these things from a very young age. And hopefully, when our son sees this in the future, he'll know what, I've gone through in the process of birthing him and becoming a mother because it truly was a beautiful journey. So my due date was the 17th of September 2025, and I had been given that as an estimated due date. So for those who don't know, the estimated due date is just a sample. So you really don't deliver on that day. There might be like you may deliver earlier than that date or even later. Like some women also go beyond their due date. So it is just a sample date that the doctors give you to for you to get an estimate on when your baby might exactly be born. So when I knew or found out I was pregnant, I was given the date of the 17th of September. And I was pretty chill. I mean, it was the Ganpati festival season going on, I clearly remember. And I was heavily pregnant I was 9 months pregnant at that point. So it was, any day, today or tomorrow, any day it can happen. And my life changed on the 2nd of September, actually. So I was having frequent gynec visits. They were weekly at the end of, the 9 months. And as my date was slowly approaching, it was pretty frequent. I used to go in for my gynec appointment every once a week. So I went as usual on the 2nd of September. On the 30th of August, I had some fatigue and some tiredness, which was a bit strange because I had been pretty upbeat the whole pregnancy. I had some trouble and everything, but I was pretty much on my feet. I was walking, I was going places till the very end. So that was a bit strange for me. I was like, this seems to be a bit different. So on the 30th of August, I remember I was just in bed lazing around. I didn't feel like doing anything. I felt very, heavy and like I could not really participate, especially in the Ganpati festivities that were going on. On the 2nd of September, I went in for my gynec visit, and my gynecologist checked me and she was like, Sharvari, you are already 3 centimeters dilated. So I was shocked because for those who don't know gynec terminology, you need to be 10 centimeters dilated for you to be able to push the baby in a normal delivery. And I was already 3 centimeters dilated. I was not aware of this. I had no pains till that point. And I was very shocked. I was like, wait, how did I even get to 3 centimeters, So the amount of centimeters you're dilated means how big your cervix is opening in preparation for delivery. So my gynec was like, we need to, be aware now because anytime your waters can break or the usual signs that your, delivery time has come. And I did not get any of those signs. Neither did my water break. Neither did I get any pains or anything. I literally got to know as she checked me that I was 3 centimeters dilated. And I remember my mom had come with me for the checkup. The both of us were utterly shocked. We were like, what? Because I was truly fine functioning till like 2 days before. And the doctor said, you need to be very vigilant and we will have to operate on maybe the fourth or the fifth because the baby is coming down now. So we can't, it will have an infection risk. So we can't really wait that long for the baby to, come down on its own. So she said, I have kind of induced contractions for you. So you may start feeling the pains, but anytime you have, a bloody show or you feel your water breaking, immediately come to the hospital. So I was like, okay, I went home. And since she had induced some contraction on the 2nd of September, like the contraction started a bit and I started feeling pain. So for those who don't know how contractions feel like, they're like this big band of pain that, come from behind, like they start from your back and they wrap around your whole waist and then they stop and then you have a bit of time before you have the next contraction, so you get that time to really brace for the next contraction. And I remember having these pretty, like, they weren't happening that frequently. I was having one every 30 minutes or so, so I was not really in labor by that point. But I remembered what my doctor had said. She had said, be vigilant, be aware. And then I had to, keep a watch on how frequently the contractions were coming. On this went on for the whole day of the 2nd of September. On the morning of the 3rd, I felt like the contractions frequency was increasing and they were becoming increasingly painful. So I was like, this is bad. This is very bad because I think I have a very low tolerance of pain. So I could not really take that much pain. And I literally was at 3 centimeters. So I was like, okay, this is bad. The pain seems to be increasing. Maybe I'm progressing faster in labor. So it was about 2 in the night on the 3rd of September. I woke my parents up. I was like, okay, I might need to go to the hospital. And they were like, okay, they had prepared and everything in advance. And then what happened was I fell asleep in between the contractions. Like the pain was so much that I fell asleep. And then I woke up, it was already 11 in the morning and the contractions had reduced a bit. So I was like, okay, maybe, this seems to be the start of something. Maybe it's too early to go to the hospital. So I waited the whole day of the 3rd. I was in active labor continuously, but it was too early to go to the hospital. And then it came the evening of the 3rd of September. So this is where the contractions started to get more intense and really bad, like very painful. So again, I will say before I start that contractions, the intensity of how much you feel contractions differ from person to person. So I'm a person who has an extremely low pain tolerance. So for me, it might have been bad. For you, it can be different. So contractions are a way for you to meet your baby sooner. So that's how I see it, honestly. And many women are scared of contractions, but that's how much the uterus needs to contract to, get the baby out. So it's actually a way of safely delivering the baby. This is kind of to give a positive mindset to the whole situation. Then I remember being in severe pain for the evening of the 3rd. I was literally on the couch writhing in pain, and my mom was like, do you need to go into the hospital? Do you think? I was like, no, I can still take it. The pain was a lot, but not too much that I would go to the hospital. It was a very weird place. And I went to bed at about 12, no, about 11:30 on the 3rd of September. And they really went very bad. Like I remember those 3 hours or something, 2, 3 hours, I was in horrible pain. I took a bath at night to ease the contractions. I took a warm shower that helped a bit, but it was really getting horrible. So on the morning of the 4th of September at 2, I woke my parents. I'm like, guys, we need to go in this time. It is real. The baby is coming. We have to. They were like, let's go to the hospital. The entire way to the hospital, I was in horrible pain. I was literally sprawled on the back of the car and completely in pain. Like I could not understand what is going on. I was in horrible, horrible pain. And we reached the hospital. That time they gave me a wheelchair and everything because I literally could not walk. The pain was that much. We went up and they checked me and they were like, Sharvari, you're literally 4 centimeters dilated. I'm like, in 2 days, I just went up by 1 centimeter. And I don't even want to know how much 10 centimeters will look like if four hurts this much. So my doctor was called in at 3, 4 in the morning. She said that, just give her some medicine to, boost up the contraction so we can go for a normal delivery. And I stayed like that for about 7:30 in the morning. So about 3 in the morning to 7:30, they waited for 4.5 hours. But then what happened was the baby's heart rate started to drop because the baby had been in labor for about 2 days at that point. So the heart rate started to drop, and my doctor checked. She was like, we need to maybe go for a C-section because it is harmful for the baby if we try and stay for a normal delivery. And I got very scared, honestly. But at that point, the pain was so much that I remembered that the C-section gives the spinal anesthesia, which makes the pain completely disappear. And then I was like, I literally begged my doctor. I was like, can we please go for a C-section? I can't really take the pain. And she said, we can try for a normal delivery, but you seem to be in a lot of pain, plus the baby's heart rate is dropping. So it's going to be a risk. I think we should immediately operate because that is not going to be a good scene. And I was like, okay, do anything to take me out of this pain. Because as I said, I have a very low pain tolerance. So then I was planned for a C-section. Here is where I'll say that my literal preparation was done for about a normal delivery. So everything was like the baby was head down, the baby was in the perfect position for a normal delivery and everything. Just because my labor prolonged too much, I had to go for a C-section. So they put me on a stretcher, they wheeled me to the operation theater. And I remember lying there, and there were like about 8 or 10 doctors there. And they all were, having a talk and, examining me. And they put a screen right in front of me. And I could feel the spinal injection going through. For those who ask, the spinal injection does not actually hurt. I don't know why, but because I was already in so much pain, it did not hurt at all. And I could feel my body numbing down from waist down, and it felt so good because I had been in horrible pain for the last 2 days. And they made me lie down on the bed, and I could feel them, touching me and everything. It was having like, someone tugging me really hard, pulling me really hard. And then I felt a weight lifted, and I heard my baby boy cry for the first time, and it was the most beautiful feeling in the world. I know I was not there for most of it. Like I was there, but I was on heavy medication. So I really was feeling what was going on, but I could not really comprehend it in a way, I could say. And they took my baby boy away to, clean him and stuff. And I didn't even know the gender yet. So I was like, I just asked them, is the baby here? And they're like, the baby's here. The birth happened and we have just taken the baby for cleaning. So they're talking in a very specific way. So I was just trying to look at the baby, and, I'm trying to get up from the table because they're, stitching me and everything down there. And it was like the C-section was a very queasy experience. I could feel a bit nauseous because I think they were operating on me down there. And then I asked them, what is the gender? Because in India, we do not know the gender until the birth actually happens. So I asked them, what happened? Because I was very curious to know. The whole 9 months I was, contemplating, is it a girl, is it a boy? Or like I was completely unaware. And they showed me the baby like this, and they were like, congratulations, it's a baby boy. And I was so happy because somewhere inside I had this gut feeling that it might be a boy, but I was not sure. Of course, anything would have made me and Sharang happy. So we really did not care, honestly. But I heard that and I literally said I knew it was a baby boy. So I think I said something like that. But then they showed him to me. They're like, he's your baby boy and we're going to take him safely somewhere so that you can rest and then you can complete your recovery and then we'll bring him to your room. After that, I remember my legs were literally like jelly. I could not feel them. I could just feel somebody, transferring me onto the normal bed and then taking me to the recovery room. So there, I was so heavily on medication that I remember seeing the faces of my husband, my mom, my mother-in-law, and my father-in-law there. They were like looking at me as I passed, but I could not recognize them because I think I was heavily on, medication. Then they took me to a room for recovery, and then I was, kept there for a while till they monitored my vitals. And my mother-in-law came and checked on me, as well as my mom, my husband. Like, that's when I met Sharang for the first time after the delivery. They'd all seen the baby, and they were like, he's so beautiful, he's so precious and cute. They have just taken him for further examination. And then I was like, I had this big scar on my belly, but that was not hurting till that point, because I was still under the influence of anesthesia. Then they took me to my room to get ready, to rest and everything. And that's when the whole delivery experience came to an end. And after that, my baby boy came in the room a while later. I was able to feed him and, start the whole mothering process, which is going on till now, I would say. So, yeah, it really, like, the takeaway from this whole thing would be that birth has, humbled me so much. It has really made me see life in a new light. And my respect about my mother has increased 1,000 times. Like, the things women go through are amazing. So, the takeaway from my story is that my story is firstly different. So, my story may not be your story. You may have a completely different story. You may go for a normal birth. You may have a planned C-section. I want to say that both births are births. So do not, beat yourself up that I had planned this a certain way, but then this happened, Every birth is a birth, and everything is valid as a birth. So I want you to take care of yourself if you're pregnant. I want you to, get your sleep, get everything in order before the baby arrives. Do not be scared of birth. I tell this to everyone. I was the most scared last year when I was about to give birth to my baby. But everything does work out fine. You are really stronger than you imagine. And I'm not saying this just to, validate you guys or something. It really is true. I thought I was a complete weak person who could not take pain and everything. But when I went through birth myself, I saw myself in a new light that, I can sustain what is happening to me. And to meet my baby, I can go through ends, meet the ends of the world in a way like that. So if you're pregnant, you're expecting, then I hope you have a happy and safe delivery. I'm, wishing for you to have your good news soon. And don't worry at all, you're very brave as a woman. So take care of your health and make sure that you have everything ready before your baby arrives, and embrace delivery with an open mindset. Be scared, but not too scared that will hamper your birth experience. So I guess that's it for this video. I know we have made a video after a very long time, but I wanted to make this in a way, to ensure that me and Sharang are still keeping this channel alive in a way with the heavy routine that we're going through. So, in case any women out there have any doubts about the delivery or birth, or men also for your partners, and make sure that you comment down in the comment section down below. Also, like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Sharang and Sharvari. We are not posting videos that frequently, but we will soon start if you keep continuing to love us in this way on this channel. So, thank you guys, and make sure that you stay tuned. Thank you.